Limp Bizkit is a band I've been a fan of since before you probably even knew who they were. I recently got to go see the finale of their US tour for their latest album Still Sucks on Tuesday, May 31st, 2022. It was down at the Toyota Arena in Ontario, California. They had special guests Wargasm UK and Dying Wish from Portland, Oregon. It was a pretty good show. I want to talk a little bit about that today in this video, but as I was there at the show and as I was sitting down to record this video, I started to reminisce. I started to think about Limp Bizkit and the times I've seen them and kind of where I've been at with them. Limp Bizkit is one of those bands that a whole lot of people don't like anymore. Maybe they pretend like they never did like, yet they probably know the lyrics to most of their songs. It's a very interesting thing, this love-hate relationship that people have with Limp Bizkit. It's kind of like Vanilla Ice, right? Like nobody ever liked Vanilla Ice too, right? The greatest white rapper of our time. Before I get into all that, my name is Trinity. Thank you all so much for being here on the 2nd Street Marvel. Make sure that if you like what you see in this video, make sure you consider subscribing. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. And I say consider that because I don't always talk about music as much as I should, considering how much I absolutely love music and how many concerts I've been to. And I haven't been to a whole lot of concerts, but just the bands I've been to and just the fun that I have. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Getting into this, as I said, I just went and seen Limp Bizkit on Tuesday, and it was a great time. I met one of our channel members here on this channel. Met them down there at the show in Ontario. We went and had a great time. He actually ended up getting too crazy in the mosh pit. Ended up busting his nose up. Maybe fractured a rib a little bit or bruised it. Maybe he had a great time. I did too, but I have some pre-existing injuries for the time being, and I didn't want to chance anything. It was a really good time. But even as we were sitting there getting ready for the show, after we had already seen Wargasm UK go up, which was a band I had never heard of, and I was, as we were sitting there, we had the VIP lounge passes. Yeah, I splurged, and we were sitting there in the lounge, and I was like, you know what? I've never heard of this. I was looking up the other bands. I'm like, I've never heard of Wargasm UK. I'm kind of interested, as much as I wasn't, I really was. And we were like, okay, well, let's go out. So we went down. We went down to the floor. We had general admission tickets, so we went down to the floor and checked them out. Got to see them play a few of their songs, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed the vibe and just kind of their presence and everything on stage. It was really good. And then after that, Dying Wish came out. Dying Wish, it was this band. Looks like they probably had five, 6 members. And they had a female lead vocalist, and she's sitting there doing, some kind of death metal screams and stuff. It was pretty hardcore, man. It was pretty good. They came out and they put on a pretty good show. The pit was getting kind of crazy as well. It was a very good show. For not having seen both of these bands, they kind of fit this bill really well with Limp Bizkit, which is kind of something I'll get into in just a minute. Some of the unique lineups that you'll get at a Limp Bizkit show. But also this show with these two opening bands kind of reminded me of a lot of the shows that I went to there in the late 90s, where you get kind of these lineup of different kind of, maybe like not even necessarily genre bands, different genres, but they still somehow kind of melt together and work in this lineup. And of course, Limp Bizkit headlined the show. Now, I want to get into, before I get into the Limp Bizkit show here, I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of a history on my fandom, my fanship, how much I've loved Limp Bizkit throughout the years. The first time I ever actually seen Limp Bizkit was clear back in 1996. It was October 16th, to be a little bit more specific. It was on KoRn's tour for Life is Peachy. We seen them in Lawerence, Kansas, and I kind of remember this because I still have the ticket from this show. Now, you may not even be able to see and read the things that are written here on this ticket, but let me tell you, it was a good show. But yeah, it was October 16th, 1996, and it was the day after Life is Peachy came out. KoRn headlining. You also had Limp Bizkit and Delinquent Habits. And apparently, there, like I was looking online, there was apparently a couple of other bands there that I don't remember seeing, and I'm pretty sure we didn't miss any of that show. So I don't know, maybe I'm recalling it wrong. It was a very good show, and that is where I first picked this shirt up that I am wearing right now. That's got this like the Burger King symbol, and then on the back it says "Have It Our Way." And this was the very first time that we had seen them, and they were still relatively nobody. That was the same time I ended up getting this little promotional tape that they had here. And this actually just has 3 songs from their original album, which was Counterfeit, Pollution, and Stuck. But you can see getting in here, there are definitely some different names on there. DJ Lethal wasn't on here. DJ Lethal's name is on here, but they only had these 3, and these 3 songs are different from what were on the album. And this was the first thing that we had back, after that show. Aside from this shirt I got, the memories that we have that I have of this show were from that. And then I seen them just a few months later. It would have been I want to say about the middle of March. We actually seen them once again with it was KoRn, Helmet, and Limp Bizkit. This time with KoRn headlining once again. This was all still kind of on the Life is Peachy tour. So we had actually seen them again at that show. And that show was actually at, I believe that was at Memorial Hall in Kansas City. And very good show. That first show was in Liberty Hall in Lawerence, Kansas, and it was a relatively small venue. My friend actually snuck backstage, all sneaky snake style, got backstage and got to meet Jonathan Davis, all the guys in KoRn. He met Fred and all them guys there backstage. He snuck backstage and got to hang out for a little while. And my friend, he's just that kind of guy. And then we did see them again in Kansas City just in March. And then the next time I actually seen them was in Denver, Colorado later that same year. And that would have been October 1st of 1997. And I know that because I have the ticket stub right here that I'll show you in just a second. Now, this was very, it was crazy because the first album, $3 Bill Y'all, had just come out. I want to say it was late June, maybe early July, because I remember jamming it on Independence Day on July 4th. We were there jamming it down at the river and everything as we were partying, getting ready for the fireworks. And that was when the album had come out, and then I just seen them what was it, like 4 months later when we seen them here on October 1st in 1997. This was at the Ogden Theater in Denver, Colorado, and this time I actually seen them with one of my favorite bands, and that was Faith No More. When we seen them in March, I'm pretty sure is when we got this shirt right here, this Limp Bizkit shirt. Right here, I'm pretty sure this was from the show in March. It may have been this Faith No More show, but we actually got to meet Limp Bizkit there after this show, and this is where I got you can see Sam's signature right there, as well as I believe that's John Otto, right? Yeah, John Otto and Sam there. From 1997, where we got to meet them after this show, and they were the only two bands playing that night. It was just Limp Bizkit and Faith No More. And then this is the other little passes we got here. Got them to sign this. Obviously, we got Wes up here and then Fred right there. And at this point, DJ Lethal was with them as well. And he just wasn't there after this signing. So I've got those, just kind of those memories here of these shows. The next time I seen Limp Bizkit after that was in 1998. So that was the 4th time I had seen them. And this was, I want to say it was like June. I think it was June 26th at the Sandstone in Kansas City. And it was the Ozfest. I believe it was the second Ozfest, if I'm not mistaken. And they were there on the first stage. Again, this was before their second album, Significant Other, even came out. It didn't even come out. It came out that next year. So they were still getting bigger, but still somewhat relatively unknown. Fred Durst was still kind of inciting things, getting people a little excited. That's just the kind of mayhem that Limp Bizkit brought to the stage as we were there at the Sandstone. He's like, hey, I want everybody back there in the lawn area to get up here. And pretty much a lot of people did kind of rush security, not like being violent or anything, just rush them, so everybody started rushing towards the seats. And I ended up getting by. My friend had already gotten by, so we got up at the front for the Limp Bizkit show on the main stage. After Limp Bizkit came out and put on a hell of a show, this is back when they had the big old toilet on stage. After they got done, Megadeth was the next band to go up. And let me tell you, Megadeth, they rocked, but I had to leave that stage, the pit area, and go back to the grass area because Megadeth was so loud. It was outdoors and it was just blaring like you couldn't hear yourself, and it was outdoors and it was freaking loud. Probably one of the loudest shows that I ever seen. They literally blew the roof off a place without a roof. It was a great show, that Ozfest. That was actually the same year that we got to see Snot was on the second stage. As soon as we got into the show, they ripped our tickets, said, "Welcome to Ozfest." We walk off and you hear, "Thanks, we're Snot." And they walked off the second stage, and that was the only opportunity that we ever got to see them. And I never got to see Snot, a very great band. So then the next time, I didn't see Limp Bizkit again for years until I think it was 2015 when I seen him at the Forum in Los Angeles, and I seen them, and this was like a totally like 90s kind of show for me. Like there was a couple of opening bands, like one of them was like Hop Sin, and I think there was another group as well. But then you had Suicidal Tendencies, you had POD, you had House of Pain, Limp Bizkit, and even KoRn. It was an absolutely great show that we got to go there and just see all of, just kind of just reunited. Like, it felt like I was in the 90s again. It was great too because I'd never seen Suicidal Tendencies live, let alone House of Pain, which was just a very good show. And I'm telling you, every single time Limp Bizkit puts on a show, it's like a bomb went off once they get it. Like, it's crazy. Like, as much as people hate Limp Bizkit, so many people out there are in denial. So many people are out there in denial. They love Limp Bizkit, man. I'm telling you, because I see it every single show that I go to, and it was just crazy. And it always gets crazy when they go on stage. Like, a bomb went off, dude. Just people just like in the crowd. Like, it's rough. It's rough. Now, that brings me to this show that we just had here in Ontario, where I would say, and even Fred kind of made some comments during the show about it was a little more tame. And I got to be honest with you, there was times like a lot of the time throughout the show, I had breathing room, moving room, and everything like that. I've honestly never been to a Limp Bizkit show that was like that ever, not even the first time. So it was kind of crazy to see that. It was kind of nice. It was kind of nice to, not be getting pushed around and having to fight for the room the whole time. But I also kind of miss that as well, right? It's kind of the excitement and the fun of being at a concert. Getting into the show, it was still a great show when they came out. Fred Durst up there making all kinds of jokes about being a Limp Bizkit cover band, which we all know what he's talking about, right? Anyway, the show itself was great. Like I said, we had a couple of good openers, and then Limp Bizkit came out, and I don't think Ontario knew what hit them, man. They came out and they started off with DJ Lethal playing just on record or digital or whatever he's using to DJ these days. I don't know his rig and his setup, but they came out and started with Dad Vibes. As they were going through this Dad Vibes song, you seen like Wes Borland start to come out, Sam Rivers comes out, and then eventually, like after that, you see John Otto come out on the stage as well.
Where's DJ Lethal when I need him? With the swag on the floor. Mama gon' brag as I walk in the door. Yo, ain't never seen the women in the mist rolling on so high with a high keep it motto. My dad riding in on a rhino. Got the roll on the rap with the dad vibe. Now everybody bounce to the franchise. John Otto? Limp Bizkit is in this motherfucker right now. I smell Southern California.
It was very good. It was a pretty nice little intro into the show. Then they went into the title, the very first song on the album, Out of Style. So that's just kind of how they kicked it off. And then, he said after that, he wanted to roll it back to the 90s. And that's when they started to go in and get into doing a lot of the songs off of Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water. They started going into just all it seems like they played most of that album.
It's been from all around me. Witness me failing me, going weak. Life is overwhelming. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'd love to be the one to disappoint you when I don't fall down. But you don't understand when I'm attempting to explain. Because you know it all and I guess things will never change. But you might need my hand when pulling in your home. In this position I'll remember when I'm letting go. You and me, we're through. You got this. Oh, karaoke. Satisfied, there's too much on your mind. So you leave and I can't believe all this bullshit that I find. Life is overwhelming, heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'd love to be the one to disappoint you when I don't fall down. But you don't understand when I'm attempting to explain. Because you know it all and I guess things will never change. But you might need my hand when falling in your home. Disposition I'll remember when I'm letting go of you and me. We're through. We arrange you and me. We're through. We arrange. God, it's over. Thank fucking God. If you're in a shitty relationship, let me see your hand. Oh yeah, I know, I can relate. You make believe that nothing is wrong until you try it. You make believe that life is long until you die. Everything myself. Maybe I could use some help. But hell, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Maybe life is up and down, but my life's been ups and down. I crawled up your butt somehow, and that's when things got turned around. I used to be alive, feel pathetic, but now I get it. What's done is done. You just leave it alone and don't regret it. But sometimes some things turn into dumb things, and that's when you put your foot down. Why can't you know it somebody like you? Why can't you know it somebody like this? How can you do somebody like that? Looks like I'm gonna do everything myself. Maybe I could use some help. But hell, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Maybe life is
played a couple of songs off of Significant Other, and I think the only song that they played off of the first album was Faith. And it was great too, because when they actually did Faith, Wes Borland actually stepped off the stage and came out into the crowd.
Wes Borland, you're in the mosh pit. What are you doing? Are you sure you want to go in there? Yeah! Go in the middle. Take the reverb off.
That was pretty cool. And so, yeah, like I said, they did a lot of those hits. And then they did, like, here's the one thing I was so surprised about, was they actually played a song off of Results May Vary. And I was very surprised to see Wes play a song off that album. I mean, you know why, right? Don't act like you don't know why. I'd be surprised that Wes played a song off of Results May Vary. It was great to see that, see him play that song there. As I was saying, like, it's probably like I'll probably never see them play a song off this album, but they actually did it, and it was great. And then, of course, you know, I honestly don't think they played one song off of Gold Cobra. I'm not going to complain about that. I like Gold Cobra. It's got some good songs on there and everything. And they didn't even play anything off the Unquestionable Truth either. And I wish they would have, because that's like that's like probably Limp Bizkit's best album, is the Unquestionable Truth Part 1. But anyway, so they went through a lot of their old hits. It was just a great time. As I said, the crowd was a little bit more tame than I'm used to at a Limp Bizkit show, but I'm not going to complain about that, because I actually had the wrong shoes on at the show. I left the shoes I was going to wear here at home, and man, it happens. That such is life, right? I thought the show was really good, man. Like I said, this is my 6th time seeing Limp Bizkit, and as I was there, I was reminiscing with my friend before the show, like, man, like all of these times that I seen Limp Bizkit, man, and like pretty much like the first 4 times I seen them, the first 3 really was like nobody really knew who they were. They were relatively small and unknown. I mean, to their biggest credit, they had DJ Lethal in the band from House of Pain. I mean, they were, like I said, they were relatively unknown the first few times I seen them, and then, you know, the next couple of times, you know, obviously when I seen them in 2015, they were huge at that point and everything, and yeah, they're, you know, they were well into their career. So it's been very cool seeing that kind of progression of seeing them throughout time. Like, I remember the first time we seen him, man, Wes came out and he was all dressed up. He looked like he had like this Freddy Krueger sweater on and this mask that it almost looked like Vega. It almost looked like Vega from from Street Fighter, but I think it had a nose on it though. I think it looked like Vega, but it had a nose on it, if I'm not mistaken. But very cool stuff, man. It was great to go to the show. It's been my first concert since the yeah, you know what. It was great to be back at a concert. It was Limp Bizkit. The environment was really great. There was kind of, you know, it was down in Ontario in a different county, so there's really no restrictions on anything. You know, we got to hang out, have a great time. But I don't know, man, like I said, that's just been my time and my experience with Limp Bizkit. Let me know down in the comments below if you've ever seen Limp Bizkit live. Do you like Limp Bizkit? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below, and believe me when I say I know there's going to be a lot of hate comments down there, because nobody likes Limp Bizkit, right? That's all I've got for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the 2nd Street Marvel. If you're not already, please make sure you subscribe. Click the little bell and all that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. It's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But while you're at it, make sure you share with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the 2nd Street Marvel. You all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.